Hello and welcome to Parai on YouTube channel. This is for the class 7 chapter first environment in geography. After the long vacations, right, when Ravi started going to school again, he noticed that the only playground next to his school was dug up. So people said that there is a huge buildings with many flats will be constructed there, and he was almost disappointed that he is going to lose his playground. um, because it has a soft grass, marigold, butterflies. It's all gone forever. So he shared his feeling with his classmates and in assembly, and also with the principal that see the how environment is changing, said his principal. Now in the class, Ravi asked his teacher, "What is the environment?" Because his principal said that environment is changes. So what is the environment? Now whatever we see around us, like um, trees, grounds, and the atmosphere, environment, everything, buildings, classroom, all these things that around us are the part of our environment, and that's what the teacher said. But some objects are created by nature. Some examples are mountains, river, trees, animals. Others are made by the people, for example, road, car, clothes, books, right? So further you can classify them into a two part. One, that the natural environment, right? It is there as it is. And the other one is that human made, which is made by us. So Ravi, Paramjit, Jesse, Mustafa, Asha were all excited about making the visit. Why is our environment changing, right? And asked Iqbal, and it's also because of our needs. They are, so here is the map of the components of environment. Look at very carefully. See, there are three components of environment classified: natural, water, air, land, living things; human-made, building, parks, bridge, road, industries, monuments; and humans are divided into individual. They make the family, community, religion, education, economic, social, political situations, or countries. So our needs increasing day by day, so we are therefore modifying at the times, even destroying our natural surroundings. The teacher replied, from the above conversation, you understand that the people, place, thing, and nature that surround any living organism is called environment. This is a definition. Now here look at on the left side, biotic and abiotic means the word for those living organism on the earth. Abiotic means the word of non-living elements. Right? It is combination of natural and human-made phenomena. While the natural environment refers to a biotic and abiotic condition existing on the earth. Human environment reveals the activity, creation, and interactions among the human beings, right? So whatever we do on the earth for a living, that all activities are the kind of interactions. Natural environment: land, water, air, plant, animal comprise the natural environment. You are familiar with the meaning of lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere from your previous class. If not, let's discuss. Lithosphere means the land that available or land is there on the earth. Hydrosphere means the water on the earth. Atmosphere means all the air and surrounded blanket over the earth. And biosphere, all living beings on the earth. Let us learn some more facts about this domain. Lithosphere is a solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth. It is made up of rock and materials and covered by a thin layer of soil. It is irregular surface with valleys, etc. Landfall are found over the continent and also on the ocean floor. Lithosphere is the domain that provides us a forest, grasslands for grazing land, for agriculture and human settlements. It is also a source of mineral wealth. The domain of water is referred to hydrosphere. It comprises various sources of water and different types of water bodies like a river, lake, seas, ocean, etc. It is essential for all living organisms. The atmosphere is a thin layer of air that surrounds the Earth. The gravitational force of the Earth holds the atmosphere around it. It protects us from the harmful rays of and scorching heat from the sun. It consists of a number of gases, dust, and water vapors. The change in the atmosphere produces a change in the weather and the climate. Plants and animals kingdom together make a biosphere or the living world. It is a narrow zone of the earth where land, water, and air interact each other, and that's supposed to life. So that's called a biosphere as well. What is an ecosystem? Right, so definitions on the left hand side is very important. It is a system formed by the interactions of all living organisms with each other with the physical and chemical factors of the environment in which they live, all linked by transfer of energy and material. Hence, here at the NCC Camp Ravi class was attending, Jesse exclaimed, "What a heavy downpour! It reminds me of my home in Kerala. You should have come and see how it pours and pours and pours over the lush green fields and coconut plantation." Hira from Jaisalmer exclaimed, "We get no rains, we see only kikar and sand as far as the eye see." "But you also find a camel," said Ravi. So here they're talking about the places they were belongs to and how were the atmosphere or animals, plants of that particular area. Hira says, "Not just camel. If you visit our desert, you will see snake, lizard, and many insects too." Ravi wondered, why do the animals, the vegetations, and the way people live very far from place to place? Are they all related to each other? "Oh, yes, very much so," the teacher replied. "All plants, animals, and human beings depend on their immediate surroundings. Often, they are also interdependent on each other. This relation between the living organism as well as the relationship between the organism and their surroundings from an ecosystem. It forms an ecosystem. So there could be an ecosystem of a large rainforest, grassland, desert, mountain, lake, river, ocean, and even a small pond. Now do you think the park in which Ravi and his friend plays formed an ecosystem? Yes. Human environment. Human beings interacted interact with environment and modified according to their needs. Early humans adapted themselves to the natural surroundings, so they led a simple life and fulfilled their requirement from the nature around them. With the time, needs grew and become more varied. Human learns new ways to use and change environment. They learn to grow crops, domesticate animals, and lead a settled life. The wheel was invented, surplus food was produced, but the system emerged, trade started, and commerce developed. Industrial revolutions enable a large scale of production. Transportation became faster. Information revolutions made communication easier and speedy across the world. Now, what does it mean that in the past people were living a very simple life? They set themselves according to the nature, but now we can see as our needs are increased, we are making change in environment and to fulfill our need. Have you ever thought why you love eating a juicy watermelon in the summer and a hot roasted peanuts in the winter? A perfect balance is necessary between natural and the human environment. Humans must learn to live and use their environment in a harmonious way. Nuri, a girl from Mizoram, from Ravi's classroom, often talks about the lush green surroundings of her place, seeing Ravi upset and having lost his playground. Nuri invited him to visit her home instead during the coming vacation. Ravi's teacher asked the students to draw a landscape, house, and activities of the people and the place they visit during the holidays. So that's the end of this chapter.